Alright guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and in this one we're going to be talking about the brand new patch that was just announced. It is patch 253 and it is coming out on the 21st of December, which is in roughly 3 weeks. And I'm super excited because this is going to be a big one. There's going to be 4 new dinos, a bunch of the Tek Tier stuff, 2 underwater caves with artifacts, which we got to talk about a little bit, and then the Winter Wonderland event. So, I'm going to be talking about all this in this video, and going to be sharing my thoughts and some information as well. So, hope you guys will enjoy this one, and if you do, be sure to beat the absolute crap out of that like button. Let's try to get this video to 100 likes. You guys absolutely smash it with all these like goals. Seriously, great support on the channel. Thank you so much. And let's just jump straight into this one. Okay, so the first dino that is coming is the Pegomastax. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I might be wrong. Shout at me down in the comments if I am. This is a herbivore and it is a non-rideable creature because it's tiny. As you can see, there's a picture there. There's a raptor with it in its mouth. It is basically at the bottom of the food chain. You can only find them in little packs of 1. Well, not even a pack of 1 because it's just solo, I guess. But these guys are used to collect seeds and rare mushrooms and flowers and whatnot. And it says that you can also collect items that could be used to cook, so possibly maybe they can somehow manage to find vegetables. That would be pretty cool if they could. It's kind of hard to see from the pictures there. It just looks like they have a bunch of like berries and mushrooms and stuff there. But either way, looks pretty cool, and it doesn't say anything about taming, but I assume you just knock them out. So that is the Pegomastax. Let me know what you guys think about that one. Okay, so the next dino coming is the Therizinosaurus. I believe that's how you say it. Anyway, this is a herbivore. It is aggressive and it is also rideable, which is amazing. So this guy is going to be used to collect fiber. They mentioned recently in a live stream when they showed him off. Though I believe he'll probably also be used to collect other resources as well. So you can use this guy to collect the fiber, but you can also use him for combat because he's going to be pretty freaking good. Those giant claws on him right there, you see those terrifying... I don't even know, like if I saw a creature with those things, I would just want to run. Those things can apparently pierce through armor. Now, does that mean that it's going to have the same power as the stingray? Because the stingray doesn't take into account what armor you're wearing when it's attacking you. Maybe this is the exact same. This creature is going to be pretty good for combat, but it's not going to have very good carry weight, so using him for harvesting is not going to be the best. That's why it's probably good to just collect fiber with him and not wood and other resources. But either way, he's going to be pretty freaking cool. He can also do the same to creatures as well with the, he ignores armor. So I assume for like a turtle, he can, you know, hurt them a little bit more. So attacking turtles won't really be a problem with these guys because turtles are not going to be tanky with these guys because they can pierce the shell. Sounds pretty freaking cool. I'm super excited for this guy anyway, but let's move on to the next dino. Okay, so this is the Troodon. Now this creature is really interesting because it is very small, and the way that you actually tame one of these guys, I should also mention these guys are nocturnal and they're carnivores and they're also very aggressive and they're pack hunters, so that's a lot of information. But the way that you tame these guys, because they're super smart, you have to actually feed them your creatures. Now that may sound like a little bit weird, but apparently if you feed them like dodos, so tame up a bunch of dodos before this update comes out because you'll probably want some of these guys. So tame up a bunch of dodos, and then apparently if you just feed the dodos to them, I guess you just throw them at them and they just kill them, and that counts maybe, or maybe you have to walk up with the dodo in your hands and then you hand it to them. I don't know. That's really cruel though. Just walking up with your cool dodo, and he's just like, oh, we're pals, and then suddenly he's just being fed to something. He's just thinking, wow, the betrayal. Oh, I don't know, that sounds so cruel, but either way, this is pretty freaking cool because you feed him dodos to gain his trust, because you can't knock out these guys and tame them that way. So basically that's because they're super smart, and I guess that's kind of like a different taming technique that they're probably introducing. I don't know if it's gonna be on any other dinos, but it's kind of interesting, just feeding your dinos to another creature. It's new. I've never seen anything like that, and I'm super excited. But either way, these guys are also going to be really handy, because you may be wondering, like, what the hell is the point of taming this little guy? He's not going to do anything. These guys are really good. These guys poison when they bite, so that's like pretty handy, so they can drain your stamina, and they can also paralyze humans apparently. Now I don't know if that's going to be like a new effect, or they're just going to say, oh hey, that's your stamina all gone and it won't regen for a couple minutes. I don't know. I'm hoping it will actually just knock out the human completely, and they like, or they're awake, I guess, but they're on the ground and they just they can't move at all. That would be super funny. But So that little thing that it has, the paralyzing, will make it really handy for PvP, because I guess they just have to get a bite in, and then suddenly your enemy is just on the ground. You can't do anything about it. So I kind of imagine that these guys can also hit your enemies when they're on tames as well, like a Dimorphodon. It seems like they probably would. Either way, I'm super excited for these guys. And also, just the terrifying thing is that these guys are actually pack hunters, so yeah, imagine coming into contact with a couple of these guys. Anyway, let's move on to the next dino. Okay, so this is the last dino in the patch, and this is the it's a giant squid, okay? This guy was shown off recently as well on the same live stream as the Therizinosaurus. Oh my god, I'm struggling with these names. As the giant turkey. This guy was shown off, and they actually did something really funny with this guy. They made him look giant, so they just scaled him up to make him look massive. But he's pretty big, but he's not giant. If you've ever seen the picture, he's not absolutely massive. So this guy is going to be pretty good, because he is another underwater tame, and there's some more exciting underwater things in this update, so you probably will want to tame one of these guys immediately. Now, these guys are really good because they are like carnivores in the water, and you can actually use them they produce like an oily ink, I guess, and you can use that to make gas. So is that going to be a new oil substance that will expire, possibly, like organic polymer? I don't know, possibly. I kind of imagine it would, because otherwise it would just say it produces oil. But either way, you can use that to produce gasoline, which will be handy for on the island. And these guys are also really good in combat as well, but they are super slow, he said. So that's going to be something to consider. I'm not sure if they're going to be tanky at all. I imagine so. I mean, like, they look pretty freaking cool. Yeah, they probably could be a little bit tanky. I don't know. Either way, these guys have really cool powers, because they can knock you out. So I imagine they just do torpor, and they can drain your blood. So they're probably going to have the same type of thing as the salmon, and with a added like torpor, obviously, and it probably will knock you out pretty quick as well. These guys can also drain blood during battles as well to heal instantly, which sounds freaking cool, because it says it has some sort of vampire draining system. I don't even know. Basically, it can drain blood really, really quick and heal really, really quick from that, and it probably also increases stamina and all that good stuff. So pretty freaking cool. This guy also has one more ability if he is in danger. Like, if you're on your guy, you can do this, but if you find a wild one and it's almost dead, it's probably going to do this. It will release the ink, which a normal squid would do anyway. It will release the ink, which will blind players. So if you're trying to tame one of these guys, you got to be pretty freaking careful, because actually, you know what? If you have your goggles on, would it even blind you? Probably not. I don't know, actually. That's something to consider. I just thought about that just there. Anyway, I imagine it wouldn't, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. Anyway, so these guys will release the ink, which will make it easy for them to escape, and it will make it hard for you to actually see. And it will probably blind your dinos anyway, because you can't put goggles on your dinos yet. I really hope you can. Actually, I think you can on penguins. Anyway. So, this is a pretty freaking cool tame. You're probably going to want to pick one of these guys up straight away, because the underwater caves are coming, which we're going to talk about now in a minute. But let me know what you guys think about all these new dinos. I think they're pretty cool. And right now what they're doing, they're actually marking off a lot of dinos on the list of dinos that they have on the website. So, like, out of all the unreleased dinos, the dossiers here, I think there's like 19 or something that they still have to release, which is, I mean, they're getting pretty freaking close, because it used to be like 50-50, and they've been releasing lots of dinos with these new updates. It's been absolutely fantastic, but maybe, I don't know if they're going to get all these guys out before full release. I imagine they're going to try to get most of them out at least, but pretty freaking cool, guys. Let me know what you guys think about all these dinos, and let me know which one's your favorite. So let's move on to the underwater caves. So, underwater caves, there's 2 of them coming out in this update. Are these going to replace the current caves that are in the game? Yes, I think so. At least, I think so. There's no information, but I do definitely think so. So, when this new update comes out, 2 of those caves will be replaced with these 2 new caves, and I guess they're just going to be like proper, is it going to be like land on the inside and you can walk through, and it's going to be just full on like just a rocky cave or something just underneath the world? Maybe. It could possibly also be that it's going to be like a hybrid of 2, so it's going to be like water or like land once you go in, and then you go down, you have to dive under and go to the next section, which is like there's going to be water, and then the next section will be land again. possibly. It's kind of hard to tell. Like, there's no information out about all this stuff for now. We've seen no pictures. We've seen nothing of them. So this is all just speculation, but I imagine that they will actually be like kind of like a hybrid of two, you know, water, land, whatever, kind of the way that they're done that way. And we're probably going to find like mantas maybe in here. Definitely piranha, I think. So what else is hostile? Just like a bunch of underwater hostile creatures. Possibly if they're massive, we could even have megalodons in here. That would be pretty insane. But I'm pretty excited for these. They also talked about the fact that they would have artifacts. And now my thought about this is that there's already 8 caves on the map. There's 10 planned in total for, like, you know, land caves, because there's 10 artifacts currently. There's only 8 in the game right now, but there is 10 in total. So I assume that these underwater caves are going to have like a new tier of artifact, which would possibly be used to actually summon the next tier of bosses, because they've talked about the fact that there would be another tier of bosses after the current ones that we have. So they're probably going to be the like Tek Dinos that we've seen before. I've talked about that before in previous videos. So possibly these new underwater caves are the next mission that we have to do. You have to get all these artifacts, and we have to go fight these new bosses, I guess. I don't know. There's like no information out, but that's just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about all that, and let's move on. So, one of the most exciting things of the year, Tek Tier is coming in December. 3 weeks from now, we're going to have some Tek Tier stuff. Now, we're only going to get like the start of the Tek Tier. They've talked about the, like, there's a bunch of other stuff coming, but we're only going to get like just a couple things with this update. So, it says that we're getting Tek engrams. Obviously, you know, we'd have to learn the engrams for this. Could that mean that that once we hit level 100, we're gonna have like an extra set of engrams or something? I don't know, because like I imagine everybody's gonna be using mind wipes to actually learn this stuff. But yeah, so Tek engrams are coming, and then we're also getting the new resource, which is element, which we've talked about before. You collect that by beating the bosses in the game, and then we're also getting the Tek Replicator, which you guys can see right there. We've talked about that before. If you guys want to know more in depth about all these items and such, I've already done videos. I'll link that down below. You guys can watch those. But so we're getting the Tek Replicator, which is going to be used to craft all of the other stuff. And so we're also getting the Tek Rifle as well. We talked about that as well. Tek Helmet, Tek Visor, which I don't know what that is. Is that like an extra piece of the helmet, or is that going to be a spyglass, possibly? Like an extra thing that you can just enable and it's a spyglass? I don't know, possibly. The jetpack, which is just your chest piece, and Tek boots, Tek gloves, and then the Tek Rex saddle, which they never said it's going to be a laser saddle, so I don't know if we can expect that with this next update, but I imagine we're going to figure out pretty soon. So that is like a bunch of the cool stuff that we're getting. If you guys want to know any more information about all of those Tek items, you can watch the other videos, as I said. I'm super excited for the Tek Tier. It's going to be the best thing ever. I know a lot of people don't like it, but you know, you got to take into consideration that this game's initial plan was that you're going to become an ultimate survivor from primitive, where you're dealing with cloth, clothes, and like stone weapons, to where you're jumping around in like tech suits with like plasma rifles and all that good stuff. Like I feel like a lot of people didn't realize that the progression of the game was going this way. It's not always going to stay primitive. And I see a lot of people complaining in the comment section, hey, like, this is going to ruin the game. Just think about it, you know, it's not going to completely ruin the game. You don't have to play on a server that has this stuff, because they have said before that there will be servers available that will stay primitive. So if you don't want to play with all this stuff, you know, you can join one of those servers instead. But either way, I'm super excited for this stuff. I hope you guys are too. Let's move on to the last thing in the update. There is the Winter Wonderland event coming. It is Winter Wonderland 2, obviously. It's going to be pretty similar to the one last year. So Raptor Claus is going to be flying across the map again, and he's going to be on all 3 maps, so that's the Island, Scorched, and the Center as well. Now, he's going to do the same that he did last year. He's going to drop presents that are going to be kind of like airdrops, and they're either going to have like good items in them or coal, which you can use to summon the Dodo Rex, I imagine. And they also talked about the fact that they would also drop like dangerous creatures to keep you warm. What does that even mean? Are they gonna like drop Yetis or something? I don't even know. That's gonna be scary, because you just go down, open up the box, and instead of like an item or something, like it's a freaking Yeti or something at you. I don't even know. That's gonna be terrifying. But either way, I'm excited, and obviously with this update we're getting new cosmetics, new items, and the Dodo Rex is going to be back. One thing I'm kind of concerned about is, are they not going to use the Dodo Wyvern ever again until like Halloween next year? I really don't know. I really hope that they actually include him again, because I just knocked something over. I really hope that they include him again, because that thing was cool, but we haven't seen him in the Thanksgiving update, so I'm not sure if we're actually getting him ever again until Halloween next year. But guys, that is all of the information I have for you today. The full patch notes are available. I'll put them down below. This is coming out on the 21st of December, just to remind you, and obviously I will be covering all of this update stuff. If you guys want to check that out, you can hit that subscribe button down below, and obviously if you like this video as well, make sure that you beat the crap out of that like button. It really does help me out, especially with these update videos, and yeah, I guess I'll catch you guys next time.